Don't miss out on the exclusive limited edition You Gon' Know Me t-shirts. That's right, You Gon' Know Me t-shirts are now available. Be sure to reach out to J-Dub the King to secure your very own t-shirt today. You can contact J-Dub the King via social media at J-Dub the King or through email at jdubtheking@gmail.com. But that's not all. While you're at it, make sure to keep up the hype by streaming the hit single You Gon' Know Me by J-Dub the King featuring Yuckmouth and Drew on all major digital platforms. Let's keep the momentum going. Brace yourself, sports and music fans, because every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Arizona time is GO time. Introducing one of the hottest, most entertaining, and downright addictive podcasts you'll ever need. PD&J Was Good Today. Hosted by none other than J-Dub the King and Pocket. These two dynamic personalities will keep you on the edge of your seat with their unique blend of humor, storytelling, and knowledge of sports and entertainment. And you know what makes it even better? They're live on YouTube and Facebook, so you can join the conversation and be a part of the action. We're always on the lookout for awesome guests to join us on the show. So if you think you've got what it takes to hang out with J-Dub the King and Pocket, then slide into our inbox at J-Dub the King. That's JDUBBTHAKING. And let's make some magic together. So what are you waiting for? You don't want to miss a single episode. See you on Wednesday.
Wow. What a way to intro the show there, bro.
Hey, you did it. I was trying to hold back. I was like, oh, crap.
What a way to intro the show. Welcome, folks, to a brand new week. Brand new Wednesday, so you already know what that means. It's a brand new episode of PD&J What's Good Today. I'm your host, Jay.
I'm your host, The Burp, today. What is going on, folks? It's nice to see you. Nice to see you turn in. Want to get the show started first. If you haven't heard the news that came across, Mr. C, the man that brought us notorious B.I.G., and other famous artists out of New York, passed away last night, I believe. So shout out to his family, condolences, and all the artists that came out with him. I say Notorious B.I.G. because he's the biggest one we all know. I mean, you got to think, people forget that rap did start out of New York, and he's one of the biggest, if not greatest, one of the GOATs of all time.
Well, not just that, he did have his footprint on the West Coast as well. I was actually looking at an Instagram story from DJ Battlecat, the legend DJ Battlecat. How he influenced and did his thing on the West Coast. So as far as just hip hop in itself, this man has his footprints in the sand. You understand what I'm saying?
That brings to me the age-old conversation. Had it not started in New York, hip hop,
it would have started in the West Coast.
Of course, you're gonna say that. I don't think so. I don't think we would have never had a lot of the influence of music that we have now.
Would it have been as in? I think the better question would have been, would hip hop have been as important and stayed relevant for 50 years if it didn't come out the East Coast rather than the West Coast?
I
think that's more of an argument there.
I'm glad you say that.
Let me finish though. Let me finish though. And the reason why I bring that argument up is because in that aspect, I would have to give it to the East Coast as far as the longevity goes. Because if it would have been discovered in LA, I think it would have got sabotaged worse than what is being sabotaged. The industry is being sabotaged now.
I don't think it would have been sabotaged. I don't think it would have got off. There's a difference.
You don't think so?
It wouldn't have got. It wouldn't never got. So. It never got footing. Because you got to think about this. How many West Coast underground artists, I said West Coast specifically for a reason, that cannot get their foot in the door because of all of the hate? There's been a lot of West Coast artists that I've heard then I'm like, man,
you're gonna stop talking about me.
But if the shoe fits, maybe it fit too good. But it's like you got to think. You got to think, man. You got to think like that. And I like that age-old question. It makes you think, like, what would have happened? We don't know. I mean, I'm glad to see where it is right now. Now, I will say this: the awards are going to start recognizing. The Grammys are going to start recognizing as everybody starts leaving the Grammys and not paying attention to the Grammys. They're going to start recognizing a little bit better,
We've been saying that shit for decades when it comes to awards. Period.
Here's the thing.
Especially the Grammys.
Here's the thing. It's really under a microscope. You want to talk about? I'm talking about this past year. Look at how much has been happening in the record because of what your Lifetime Achievement Award winner came out and said. None of them did that before. So you want to talk about we keep talking about it. Nobody ever got up on stage and said what Jay-Z said. I don't care who you are. None of them. Not Quincy Jones, not Diddy himself, not Michael Jackson. None of them got up there and said that. But Jay-Z got up there and said it. But nobody wants to give him that credit. What do they want to do right now? They want to talk about the surviving Diddy and how Jay-Z's next. Makes you think he done shook a tree or two or several. Just saying.
Rest in peace, Mr. C.
Mr. C, thank you for what your contribution. Thank you.
7 years old, man. That just lets you know that every day is precious.
Your number can come at any time.
Yeah, every day is precious, and at the same time, live your life and enjoy your life. Love your life. Love it. Those that's tuning in, brand new or old, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. I see those likes coming in. Make sure you continue. Oh, I want to see those likes come in. Don't take that. This is what I want to get into. Big news.
Let's we got to talk about what we're not going to do today.
Oh, I was going to get into that.
Because remember, the people are going to be tuning in to hear about that. We're going to post. So here's the thing. We are going to talk about. Y'all thought I was joking. It's a book. The church can go to hell. We are going to talk about that, but not this week.
I can't talk about it this week. There's something that transpired over the past 24 hours that in my opinion, it sets the tone for next week. I think, I think that this right here.
I don't know about setting the tone, because that right there, those 3 words, the church can go to hell, can speak on its own.
Something in the past 24 hours took place that kind of takes precedence over.
I don't know. Let's not say take precedence. That seems more important to you.
To me, that's what I was going to say. To me, takes more precedence to me. Arizona Supreme Court.
Don't look at me. Look at them.
Man, I think y'all dropped the ball on this one so many ways. So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, this has made national news over the past 24 hours. Arizona Supreme Court has banned abortion in the state of Arizona. Not just banned abortion, but went back to the Civil War era of their abortion policy of 1864. Hasn't been revised since Arizona state statute of the abortion, illegal abortion, has not been revised since 1864. If those that know their history knows that shortly after that, federal government stepped in with Roe versus Wade.
Shortly after 1864, Roe versus Wade?
Compared to, so between 1864 and Roe versus Wade, that was the law of the land in Arizona.
But you said
it took the federal government.
That wasn't nowhere near those times.
It took the federal government to step in and say that abortion is legal, right? Part of the problem that I have, laws Constitution's Bill of Rights, majority of them has been revised. Am I correct? Is that a correct statement?
I believe so. Keep going.
Okay. So for the state of Arizona, let's get off of that. For one, me personally, let's get off the laws. Let's get off of that. If we want to talk about personal feelings, and if you want to ask me on my opinion is this: I don't believe any form of government, whether it be federal or state, should be able to declare and tell a woman what to do with her body when it comes to a child, especially depending on the circumstances of how that child's been created or conceived, or if that child is putting the mother health, life in jeopardy. Personally, I don't like the idea of abortion, but as a man, I can't tell a woman what to do with her body. So to have your state Supreme Court come in and tell you, well, the federal government ain't going to touch it, but we're going to keep our hands on it and make it illegal for you to do this. And it's astonishing to me that we're in this day and age. It pisses me off. It literally does, because for the simple fact of the matter is this. What if you're a 15-year-old girl sexually assaulted, but the state tells you you're healthy enough to carry that baby, so you have to carry that baby, and we're going to give it into the state up for adoption? I mean, and the reason why I bring that example is I've seen videos of the pro-lifers that's done stuff like, you have doctors that have their own personal agendas that they try to push. You have some. I'm not saying all. There are some though, right? What if you have a 15-year-old girl that's in that situation and you're trying to push your agenda? That's not right. Just because it's illegal for an abortion, but there's so many ways to dissect what just happened in the past 24 hours. I know women are not happy. Hell, our governor and the sheriff specifically said, depending on the situation, we're not going to make any arrests. What's your thoughts on this? I mean, we have some comments coming in. I'm going to get to them in a second. What's your thoughts on that?
Get the comments.
Government owns our body as citizens with birth certificates, social security numbers, and we're the property of the government. Based by that definition, you are correct as citizens. I get what you was talking about. But yeah, your birth certificate is a legal bond. Your social security number is a tax ID number. Let's be real.
Same amount of digits.
Exactly, right? They barter your birth certificate. So are you...
They barter the capital off your birth.
Exactly.
To pay the debts that the country owes. Actually, not even to increase the debt. Increase the debt the country owes. That's
correct. So based by that definition of what Trudy says, does the government own us? Yeah, by definition. But does that give them the rights based off the laws and the freedoms of what we have as citizens, right? Does it give them the right to do it? So technically, they have the right to tell you what to do with your body. That's where the disagreement comes in. I'm just saying. I'm off my stoop. Go ahead, Poppy.
I ain't got nothing to say about it. All I can say is 109 years.
Say that again.
109 years. So not yesterday, not 10 years after 1864, 109 years before the Supreme Court, I say the federal Supreme Court, excuse me, decided Roe versus Wade, and it stayed inactive until what?
2 years ago?
2 years
Last year?
Was it a year, 2
I think
years
about
ago?
a year and a half, going on almost 2 years. Yeah. Let's say almost 2 years.
Yeah, it's been almost 2 years because they put that
And let's stay right there with the Roe versus Wade, right? A lot of people have asked me my opinion about Roe versus Wade being reversed, and I've been silent on it. I'll go on record and say this. I said it before and I say it again, nor a federal government or a state government should have the capability or the say-so of telling a woman if she can or cannot have a baby. So if the federal government reversed their decision on that, I'm good with it because they shouldn't have a say-so in it to begin with. That's my stance on it. They shouldn't have a say-so. Now, by the federal Supreme Court, this is the problem that I have with you guys. You put it back on the state. Copped out.
They didn't cop out. What they did was
you passed the buck, bro. You could have set a precedent just like
they did set a precedent. They said we should have never been in on this in the first place. Like you just said, we shouldn't have been in this in the first place. The states were in charge of it. We're putting it back on the states. So they started this. They started the statement. We should not have been in charge of this in the first place.
But they could have continued their statement and said, nor should any government.
They can't control the state.
They fund the state tax dollars.
Who? The federal state?
Citizens ... are under jurisdiction. What do you mean by that? More specifically, Trullo. I'm curious to know what he means by that.
So you're telling. So you just said that nobody should tell you what to do with your body. The federal government said, "You're right. We should not be telling you what to do with your body." The states had that power to begin with. It's up to them what they want to do, because that's what they're supposed to do. They can't tell a state government, "Y'all can't control it either." No, they tell them, "You have to make your decision." Can they influence it? Yes. Did they influence it? They tried to. What did the states say? You know what? We're going to flip a coin, heads or tails. We're going to be split.
Do you think the federal government could have influenced it a little bit better?
No.
No? You don't think so?
Because then you're crossing boundaries.
Well, now you're going to have states like Arizona setting precedents.
It's already been done, man. You're talking about Arizona. You think Arizona's the first one. They're not the first one. Go back when the federal government said that. You had states coming out left and right talking about, we'll accept it. Come over here. So-and-so won't do it in Virginia. Come to Georgia. I'm just using that as an example. You're in Virginia, come to Georgia. We ain't got no problem with you. So you got states doing that already. So don't sit there and act like Arizona's the first. They're not the first, and they won't be the last.
As far as illegally doing abortion?
No, I'm not talking about illegally. There's states that are saying Arizona says no.
Another state says yes.
Yeah,
there's been more states that come out and said yes.
It's been happening since they appealed
the
law.
Since they appealed it. But for Arizona Supreme Court to say no, it's illegal, it's about to set the tone for more states. I think Texas is going to follow. Arkansas, Tennessee,
Texas wants to be independent. They don't really care about anything going in this country. Texas wants to be independent.
That's funny you say that.
If you look at everything that goes down.
According to law, citizens are under the jurisdiction of the government.
I guess you're trying to find out what he's talking about as far as federal and state, right?
No, I'm trying to see what he's finding out as far as this comment right here. So
right, but he said the government. So are we talking state or federal? There's different types of government. Jurisdiction.
In true blue eyes, government is government.
Well, that's like telling me I put raisins in my potato salad and it tastes the same.
To you, it might. To others, it might not.
That's what I'm. That's what I said. It's just like saying I put raisins. That's exactly what's saying. The government. There's not just one government. It never has been and never will be. That's why if you keyed into what I just said, Texas wants to be their own. And they're trying to take steps to be their own. If you're wondering what he said, because you might be driving, he said Google it, Black Law Dictionary.
Oh, excuse me. That was horrible. Felt that in my chest. Yeah. Oh,
not what you said.
yeah.
He didn't feel what you said in his chest. Oh my God, that was his perfect time. He's Black Law there. Ooh, I felt that in my chest. Yeah. We're cross hatching everything today. Everything's crossing over.
Like I told you, I know where he's going with this one. He's a government where he doesn't believe in state government, federal government. At the end of the day, government is government. I know exactly where he's going.
I guess the president makes the law in each state too.
A lot of states go based off what the president.
I guess the president makes the law in each state too. There's no state governor, there's no state Congress. It all goes to federal. There's a reason why it's a checks and balances. You want to talk about you want to look at the legal definition of government? I mean, what the heck is that? That was the legal definition of government. But I will say, you know what, Katie Hobbs, she's been making a lot of noise lately, hasn't she?
Katie Hobbs has done. I don't know if it's because it's an election year.
Okay, wait. So actually, let's do this. So this is where you kind of put your foot in your mouth. The government body of a nation, state, or community. So it doesn't say
government's government. We can govern our own.
The relation between a government and a governing word.
We could govern our own goddamn community, right? So you don't need federal or state government to step in. You can govern and police yourself. Communities did that before a lot of government officials started stepping in.
You got to say it like this too. There are still some communities that are allowed that have expatriated themselves.
There's one in Tennessee. My brother was just telling me about it. It's 120 acres, right? That's a gated community, self-governed, self-policed, has their own one grocery store, 2 gas stations, and their own little.
And a partridge in a pear tree?
That too. And it's crazy. Like at the end, and we had the discussion a few weeks ago in regards to would you rather have land or would you have the credit score and the money, right? They elected the land, and look what they've been doing for 220 plus years. So it can be done, folks. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Abortion is always going to be a sticky subject.
Just like religion. But I think abortion's more touchy than religion would be.
I don't know. They're probably up there together because if you look at the
close second, politics will be third.
There would be 1 and 1A, I think those two. And I say that because religion is hurting right now. I don't care what religion you're in, it's hurting.
Okay. But you tell a woman that she can't give birth, or you tell a woman that's been raped that she has to have that child.
And what do your pro-lifers say? According to the Bible, according to this part of the religion, you have to have that child. So honestly, actually, you know what?
Hold on, Mike. I'm glad that you actually made that statement right there.
You know what, Mike? I'm glad
to
get to that, but
I'm glad. Let's look at it from the guy's perspective.
There are some women out there that use a baby to get paid.
Exactly.
To get paid.
So let's look at it like this from the guy's perspective. Let's take what he's saying for face value. If he didn't want to have a baby, he should be able to.
No, he's not saying. Don't. Let's not blast Mike like that.
No,
he did say. Okay, all right. I didn't read over. Let's look at that from the guy's perspective. What if I don't want to have the baby? I should be able to make her get an abortion.
No, Mike, I can't agree with you on that.
Actually, I see what you're saying.
Honestly, it depends on the situation. If it's something where you know it's going to turn into a bad situation into a worse situation, i.e., meaning, all she wants is money. She doesn't care if you're a father or not. She doesn't want you to be a father, or whether she's just out to get you and make your life miserable.
I'm coming right now. So here's a situation where I can really understand what you're saying. You meet this girl, you guys are having a good time, you go wherever you're going to go, she hands you the condom. You use a condom. Somehow or another, there's a hole in that condom. She gets pregnant. All she's doing is blowing your phone up, talking about she's pregnant, and you're going to have to pay for this baby. Well, that's where it comes into play. You want to have that baby. You want to have that kid. I did my job of using protection that you gave me because you said you didn't want to trust. Oh, I forgot to mention that part. She says she's going to trust with the condom you have. She wants to give you a condom. You got a decision to make. Lay down, or get out.
And if you make that decision to lay down, condoms aren't 100% secure and protecting. I get what you're saying, though. I get what you're saying. I heard everything that you said.
Nobody's saying it's 100%. But if you were to go to court over something like that, man, let's think about Drake. What did he start doing? He started putting hot sauce in his condom. He didn't trust women. And the woman tried to sue him. Took him to court to sue him.
That part right there. That's where I was going at, Trulu. Right there. You do some shady shit like that, but then want to call me a deadbeat father because I backed off the goddamn situation. No, we had the discussion to begin with. Now, here we go.
Even if you recorded,
if a woman was able to get an abortion without a man's consent, a man should be able to make her get an abortion without her consent.
Oh, I like what you're saying.
I
like what you're saying there because it brings up an oppositional point that honestly, I ain't never heard that one before. Never heard it before. Makes you think. True, really? Really? Call every night. Call. That'll bring up. Okay, Kanye. Not Kanye, Kanye. Kanye.
On that note, I gotta take a shot.
Oh my gosh. That's why I said abortion is such a touchy subject because what's going to happen?
Men are automatically going to have a certain type of opinion about it. My thing about it is like this: you ain't going to let a woman tell you whether or not to cut your nuts off or not, right? Why should you tell a woman or dictate to a woman?
I agree with that. There are men out there that do. So now, they are.
Y'all saw.
Sometimes not about being soft, but sometimes it makes sense. Okay,
in some cases, you're right. I'll take that back. In some cases, I got 10, 12 kids and shit like that. Something got to give. I'm still trying to fuck. Something got to give. You ain't going to get your tube tied? All right, fuck it. I'll snip. I don't want no more kids. I get it. Yeah, in cases like that, that makes sense. I'm not saying in some cases, abortion doesn't make sense. But in the analogy of a man dictating to a woman, which let's just call it what it is.
So I got a question for you. What about if the woman that can't have kids? Can she dictate what another woman does with her body?
A person shouldn't dictate what a person does to a person's body. That's my point that I'm getting. But in society, men have dictated to women what they should have done, should do, how much they should get paid, what they should wear, how they should dress. We've been doing it for decades. Even in media today, the stereotype is still there.
What's stereotype?
That a woman is there for sex and money. Period.
Okay, so
sex appeal, sex sells. What do you need to sell a good image? A sexy woman. Media, branding. Y'all that's tuning in, tell me if I'm lying or not. We got comments coming in. I would have to disagree with Dub. 99% of the guys I know got their balls cut off just because.
Is that what we keep seeing on the highway? On them trucks? That's why we see that on the trucks. That's the ball. I knew it. I knew it on the highway.
Yeah.
You ever see it?
Thank you, Trulu. When is no one has the right to dictate to another person does to their body?
Okay, let me try it because he's doing a speak to text.
When does
when does anyone have the right to dictate what another person does to their body?
I think that's what he was trying to say. But that goes to my point. I don't think a person should tell another person or dictate to another person what they should do with their body. If you want to have your dick cut off, cut it off. But at the same time, at 12 years old, no. As a parent, you should step in. No one has the right to lord over over another person's body unless that person is a minor under an adult supervision. Didn't I just say that?
That's why I pointed to it right away. It's because you were trying to say that. I don't know. I mean,
it's a touch. I mean, as a man,
I support whatever the woman wants to do with her.
Thank you.
I have not chimed in, and that's my whole thing. That's why when it comes to this, no, I don't agree with governments at all. I understood what the federal government did as a step. People wanted to come back. Oh, now they just want to repeal it. They're repealing it because they should not have been in control. Listen to what they're saying. What happens? People look at the fluff, not the substance. They look at the fluff, not the substance. Look at the substance of what's being said. Just like what's going on in the world today. Nobody looks at the substance of what's being said. They want to look at the fluff. They want to look at the story of P. Diddy. That doesn't matter to me. What matters to me, why is my money going to Israel and the Palestine community when they don't give me a goddamn thing? They don't support me at all. My money's going over there to the third world country. I'm calling it third world because goddamn the third world to me, they always going to be third world. I don't care how strong your Air Force is. You ain't shit. That's the way I feel. That's the way I'm always going to feel. Give me some support here to make changes I need to do in my country. Then maybe I think about helping you. But no, what do we have right now going on? All of our money's going over there. Nobody's paying attention to that. They all want to fluff everything else going on around. Quit fluffing everything. It's an election year.
That or the Ukraine.
Don't want to talk about the Ukraine. Our black folks in the Ukraine are suffering more now than they ever had before. And I'm going to take it one step further. You know why? Because people don't call themselves by color in other countries. Only here we do.
I was just thinking about that.
We're so stuck on color. We're so stuck on a brand. Drop it, folks. It ain't getting you nowhere.
You know what's crazy? It's funny that you brought that up, right? I was talking with Trulu the other day. Actually, Trulu called me the other day, right? And asked me, right, a question, a simple question. We're not ignorant folks, right? I don't consider you to be ignorant. I don't consider myself to be dumb.
I am not a nigger, so keep going. That's what an ignorant person is. Look it up. We talking dictionary now? Look up a nigger. It's an ignorant person. Come on.
So since we're talking dictionary, right? He asked me a question, right? He said, "What's the definition of original?"
Original or aboriginal?
Original.
Okay.
What's the definition of original?
He asked you, so you.
So it basically, the definition to original is not a photocopy. What a photocopy is taken from, right? Then he asked me the question, and Trulu, since you're tuning in, check me if I'm wrong or not. You had asked me a question in regards to the original white person. Where did white people originate from, right? And it brought up the definition of Northern Africa, Eastern Europe, and some other things, right? Then he tied it into the original man versus the original white person, the two definitions of it. they contradict themselves.
But again, goes back to what I just said.
They want a heart on colors. Colors don't exist. That's the point that I'm trying to make. It doesn't exist. If you go to the definition of what the original man was, right? And we all know the original man was not of European descent, of today's European descent, right? Modern European descent, right? We all know what that means, right? So at the end of the day, where does color come from? It only exists in this country. By definition, a black man is a classification, not an origin. Do y'all see the problem with it? Am I the only person that sees a problem with this? And y'all want to talk about goddamn Diddy? Come on, man. We got to worry about our country. We got to worry about our women. We need to protect our women by any means necessary. If you are listening to this right now, well, what's going on with this country? You need to protect yourselves. You need to protect your family. And we need to protect our women because they're going to slaughter us. What's the legal definition of a white person? Let's look it up. Oh, you got it?
There you go, right there.
White people is a racialized term referred to people of light skin of European ancestry. In American English, the term Caucasian is often used to describe white people. However, outside of North America, Caucasian refers to people or things from the Caucasus Mountains.
Here's another Here's another definition that I like this one too. It says basically the same thing. White, often still referred to as Caucasian, is a racialized classification of people generally used for those of mostly European ancestry. But this is not the part that I like. This is the part. It is also a skin color specifier. Although the definition can vary depending on context, nationality, ethnicity, point of view, and appearance.
You want to know what the legal definition of the white person is?
The person that's Jewish and is a lawyer. Oh, wait, I'm sorry.
Read that.
It defines white people as people having origins in any of the original peoples of Europe, the Middle East, or North Africa. The Federal Bureau of Investigation uses the same definition. You want to really use the FBI?
That's their legal definition of a white person.
Here's the thing.
That's their legal definition of a white person, bro.
Here's what I want to say. If you want to believe
the FBI.
Wait, let me finish. The FBI,
an incorporated franchise,
a franchise that was led by a man who loved to dress as his grandmother for years and kept dirt on everybody and anybody. You want to believe their definition? Go right on it.
That's what the American legal definition of a white person is.
That's that American definition. The actual American definition should be, I don't know.
Oh,
y'all didn't see that coming. You didn't see that coming. I don't know. What is it?
Now, then ask when the white people first show up in Europe. I know the question to that. I know the answer to that. 6,000 to 12,000 years ago. So how long have wars been on this planet?
I love how you flip that over. But here's the thing, regardless, it goes back to what I'm saying. Here, we are so obsessed with color. And guess what? We just went down a whole color spectrum of what white is. I don't care. We're all human beings. Treat people as they are. Treat people as they treat you. That's what it really says in your Bibles. Every single Bible, no matter what race, what creed, whatever you are, what religion you are, it says the same thing. Treat people as they treat you. That is the most basic thing. Do we do it?
No.
Hell no.
And
Hell no.
The crazy part about it, you want to ask, well, what does color have to do with the abortion law that was just passed in the state of Arizona?
Who has the most kids?
In the state of Arizona, Mexicans and blacks. Period.
That's mostly all over this country.
So who is it going to affect the most?
White people. Think about it. You're laughing, but think about it.
Hey, they're a dying breed right now. They trying to goddamn procreate themselves, but it doesn't help when their women want to go back to their origins. Think about that. I'm gonna leave that right there. Think about what I just said. It doesn't help when your supposed white woman wants to go back to her origins.
Don't look at me, y'all.
Come at me all you want to. I'm here for it. I want all the smoke. I said what I said. Interracial relationships. They're all going back to their origins. Y'all all came from a more. Y'all going back to them. Period. Point blank.
No, they came from more. They're going back to get some more. I'm done. You set me up. You set me up, man. That's all your fault. This is your fault.
That was a good one. I actually got to get that one. That was a good one. Yeah. All right. So the point is that the whole color thing is a setup from the jump.
That's definitely the point. We were on the same track. What I'm saying is, though, here in this country, if we want to get back to us, you got to treat people basically how they treat you, man. If they treat you respect, you give respect. They say respect is earned, not given. Some people do it the other way around, and then they get their heart broken, their feelings hurt.
I'm sorry. I grew up in the day and age where you give respect to get respect, so it is earned, never given.
It's just stop. That's me.
And there you have it.
But yeah, I try to reserve myself sometimes because I base my character on being as mostly a professional. I am pretty much all the time. I know one thing that I always hated.
What was that?
To this day. You've seen it. My wife can witness it. There's other people that watch the show that can witness it. I always, no matter, I don't care who it is, there will always be one person in the crowd that starts something, and not in a bad way, but a conversation with me. I could be at my very low, and they will start a conversation out of nowhere. And anybody can tell you, and you can, and people can witness this. I'm always respectful. Even if I do not feel like talking to you, I will always be respectful. Because guess what? You took time out of your day for whatever reason to approach me to talk. I ain't going to turn you away. We can talk about anything. But the minute I feel anything hinting at disrespect, I'll shut the conversation down and walk away. Not for you, but what I may do to you.
Pocket, you're done.
What I do now?
You're done.
What I do? I didn't do nothing.
You're done.
All I said, they want to get some more. See, truly, it was your fault, man. Don't be trying. Wait. You are trying to put that on me. That is on you, my friend.
How's that on him?
Hey, now you're taking sides.
I'm just wondering, for one, and if I have to pick a side, why are you picking on him?
Because he started it.
What did he do?
He started the whole conversation with the colors.
Let me go back through this. When did he say something about
He said
colors?
something. We were talking about the upper room, and he started talking about colors. I'm trying to stay on topic. We wasn't talking about the horse race, the dog race.
No, but on some serious shit though, this
abortion. It
what's
doesn't.
going on?
Actually, let's do say this though. Abortion does affect everyone.
Everybody. It does. It does.
Affects people of color
more.
Because since we're talking about color in this country, we're going to bring it up. It affects people of color more than everyone else. But here's the thing. The hospital laws and rules are not built for people of color. Oh. I shouldn't have said that.
Does that mean that there's going to be more adoptions in the system? More.
Well, Angelina Jolie like adopted black people anyway. So, dang it, see y'all, man.
Now you brought me up to something else with Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie and all them kids, but that might be saved for a different story.
Oh no. We're gonna bring that out now.
I want to know what they're actually doing to them kids.
Here's my thing.
I think they're abusing those kids.
So wait. Here, let me
in so many different ways.
No, this is not where I'm going with that. Why is it that everyone is so keen on Diddy and R. Kelly and everybody else and what they're doing with people, but nobody ever looks at Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt or anybody else that adopted these kids from Africa and all these other countries? Oh, their kids, their kids need help.
Oh, Tiki, Trulu say you got the GQ smooth going, so you're done. All right, so show's over.
What do I do now? What? I didn't do nothing, man. I'm just talking to y'all, to the folks, to our listeners, our viewers. I'm talking to y'all, man. I ain't talking to nobody else. But actually, yes, I am. I take that back. I am. I'm talking to more people than that. I'm talking to every mother freaking. How many people got in this country?
And the country alone or the world?
I'm not talking about the world because we're the only ones that seem to have a big.
Also, in this country alone, we have 33.6 billion.
Actually, no, 333.3 million as of 2022.
No,
come on, y'all. You gotta do better than that. Oh wow, so it wasn't that bad. So as of January 1st of this year,
there's been a 0.53 increase in the
we have 335 million.
So we're almost at 400
238, 39, 40, 41. God damn, stop having babies, y'all. 42, 42. As the number grows, I'm talking to all y'all, every last one, because I'm talking to myself too. Stop basing your bias on the color of people's skin. Base it on how they treat you and treat others.
No, fuck that. I'm gonna go deeper than that. Do that, but base it on the politics that's within your state too, because some of them shits is bullshit. Them laws need to be changed. Laws need to be ratified. Laws need to be revised. Period. No, nobody wants to adopt, but wants to have the right to tell a woman what to do with her body. No, they're just getting ready for more. You
know what, True? I'm glad you mentioned it. Remember that story I mentioned last week? Remember we talked about this a little bit. We talked about it. How there was a few people that were coming over here legally, and they found out the one was a serial rapist and the other one was a murderer of women. Makes you think. And what law just got canked here? What law? Abortion law, right? And the people that were crossing the border were what? Rapists and what? Physical abuse of women. But y'all worried about Diddy and his parties. Y'all worried about what's coming out about Jay-Z and Kevin Hart. Let's not talk about the people coming about the border that's going to sit there. If you have
now, I will say this about the whole Diddy situation. If the rumors are true that he's involved in children and minors, then that does need to be put on the forefront just as big as this abortion shit. Because there's two things that I don't fuck with.
Here's the thing.
So you get what I'm saying, right?
Here's the thing is,
out of all the shit that's going on with Diddy, I give a fuck about. But if these rumors that he's fucking with these little boys is true, you could go to hell.
But you know what, Trulu? You say just kidding, but guess what? What does the slave Bible say? Just saying. What does the slave say about black people as well? The slave Bible. They manipulated it to say what? Some people believe that. That's why When we talk about this book next week, it's going to blow your mind. The church can go to hell.
And I'm going to give you a preview about this book. This pastor is a pastor, that wrote this book, right?
Actually, you know what I want? She wrote this book for 3 reasons. I'm going to read.
Before you read that, real quick. Don't you know that you have pastors and bishops that's battling their own personal demons and sitting up on the goddamn?
But here's the thing. All right, you know what? I'm going to, before I go there, what I want people to understand. When Jesus walked in this earth,
he wasn't going for the rich people.
No, wait. No, you gave it away. But I was going to say, was he hanging with the Donald Trumps of the world?
Nope.
Or was he hanging with the
pimps, players,
the
hustlers?
Trumps of the world?
No, not even that. Let's go deeper. He hung out with pimps. He hung out with hustlers. He hung out with thieves. He hung out with hoes. He hung out with the bottom feeders, and the castaways.
So for these preachers, you know what? Never mind. I'm not going there. I'm gonna read these 3 things she said. 3 reasons she wrote the book: to expose the principalities, powers, rulers of darkness, and spiritual wickedness at work in the church. To bring healing and deliverance to the broken, bitter, and bound in the church through her personal testimony. And the last one, to reintroduce the world to God in the gospel through love, truth, and life of Christ. Those are 3 things she did that book for. If you can, because some people can't buy the book, that's fine. See if they got it at your library. They might have it.
It's Audible. It's available in Audible.
It's available Audible too. But the whole thing is, when you read that book, she's talking. I will say she's talking about the Christian church, because that's when you look up the definition of church, and I did this several times.
Western Christianity. Let's clarify that. Not so much Christianity in a whole.
Well, my brother, if that's what you think, then that's what you think. But what's happening in the Vatican is still happening here.
Worse.
Do you think it's worse? Or
worse in the Vatican than it is here. That's what I meant by that.
So,
to answer your question, the dictionary says everything connected to black is something evil.
Yep, it's connected to something. Look, actually, you know what? My favorite thing, my brother, Ronnie, rest his soul, he loved Westerns. And what did they always rest good?
Fuck a Western. My mom likes Westerns, and I hated Westerns because they were so racially biased. As a youngin, watching a Western like Wayne, what's his name? Wayne Newton? John Wayne. I'm sorry. My bad. The Duke. My bad. I'm sorry. Bad. But John Wayne, you're correct. All right.
Watch early Clint Eastwood, John Wayne, and all that good stuff. Now, here's the thing.
It was horrible.
Now, here's the thing. What happened later on? We started seeing the Magnificent Seven and things like that.
Black Cowboys.
Generations. There were black cowboys back then. Think about this. Who was the Lone Ranger based off of? It wasn't a white man.
A black cowboy, actually a Native American. Actually,
no, he was actually a black man. The series is on Paramount Plus.
So this is what we got to do. This year, we got to go to Black Rodeo. I already got dates.
It already happened. Because I remember when we went to.
There's another one this year in September.
I remember, because here's the thing. There's a place in Phoenix that we go to. We're not going to plug the name. Actually, we could.
Fuck it.
We got to have a
meet and greet. We ain't getting paid for it. No.
We can do a meet and greet there.
No.
Either way, there's a place we go to on 7th Street in Phoenix that my wife and I were there one night, and I think you guys were there. And we saw people dressed up in.
Oh, yeah.
And we like, what the heck happened?
That wasn't the Black Rodeo, though.
Yes, it was. That's what they said that night. My wife asked people, like, what happened that night? They said it was Black Rodeo. I think it might have been end of last year. It wasn't this year. It might not have been this year. But we were there, and we're like, oh, really? And then we kept seeing people just flooding in, all dressed in cowboy gear and having a good time and talking about it was great. They were playing hip hop, and they were jamming, and they were still doing the normal rodeo things.
Yeah, because the Black Rodeo isn't until
they have more than one. They do have one.
They do have more than one.
But
I give you that they do have more than one.
You just passed right there.
No, this is an
event schedule. Go to the event schedule.
This talks about the rodeo that's going Black Country Thunder and Black Crows and stuff. That doesn't talk about that. I already looked.
But either way, when it comes up,
Black Rodeo 2024 is going to be at Westworld in Scottsdale,
of course.
And it is August.
So wait a minute. It's the one time a year Black people are allowed in Scottsdale.
That part. That part. Hey, I remember. Hey, that's the come up, dog.
Just don't wear your Jordans.
That's the come up,
just don't wear your Jordans or Air Force Ones, and you can get in.
But here's the thing.
And your crisp white tees.
I'll give that a come up because you know where the Black Rodeo used to be at? Fairgrounds. That's where. That's where it was at for years.
I thought it was way out west, and they did that because they wanted nobody to come.
No.
You sure?
It was at the Arizona State Fairgrounds for years. Wow. Now you're at Westworld in Scottsdale
because they want their money.
That's the come up.
Is it really? I consider the come up when they put it accessible to. Well, actually, Scottsdale is really accessible. It is really accessible.
A lot of tourists know Scottsdale more than Phoenix. Depending on what events you're going to.
Tourists know Phoenix. They do know Phoenix.
Yeah, they know Phoenix. But if you get what I'm saying, though, right?
If you're
PGA, the waste management, where is that at?
Yeah.
Scottsdale.
Yeah. That's why they want them.
You know what I mean? A lot of events that happen that they say happens in Phoenix, let's be real. They happen in the suburbs of Phoenix. It's either Glendale, Scottsdale, or Tempe. Let's be real.
Just like shout out to Connecticut, back-to-back champions. Women, men's.
Yeah, men's. You said women.
Men's. Yeah, I got. I don't want.
And shout out to the women's 18.7 million.
I'm trying to say from women's for a reason. I don't want to make people mad at me.
No, they're balling. They're balling harder than the men right now. They deserve.
No. There's a reason why I'm staying away from the women.
Okay, I'll let you stay away.
Reason why. Okay. There's a reason why, because Dawn Staley and them did not get enough airtime.
That part, that pissed me the fuck off. How you go 38 and 0?
I'm trying my hardest.
No, I'll do it for you. How the fuck do you go 38 and 0 and don't get not one national coverage game?
No, you
not one.
They got national coverage games
on the championship game.
Only when they played LSU
or Iowa. And let's just be real. This last year, the NCAA for women's basketball,
all about Caitlin.
They pushed that narrative.
All about Caitlin. And here's the thing.
Oh, not just about Caitlin, the beef between Angel Reese and Caitlin.
No, not even the beef between Angel Reese.
A beef that doesn't even exist.
Here's.
Let's be real.
You know what? I wasn't going to do this. I was trying to stay away from women's basketball because I want to celebrate South Carolina. So you know what? Right now, I'm going to celebrate y'all. First undefeated team
for 3 years.
Since
3 championships. First Black coach to get 3 championships in NCAA history. Give her due. And then you guys want to criticize her for talking about God and dancing and celebrating and doing like, fuck y'all. That's all I'm going to say. Fuck y'all.
Trulu, thank you, man. You looked out me. You looked out for me on that. But
that's a loaded question. That's a loaded question. It's in Scottsdale because they're making money, of course.
But thank you, man. You looked out for me that because what I've been saying, they need to stop. So put them together. You know what? I think the greatest thing that can happen if they don't have a Mexican rodeo, a Caucasian rodeo, and a Black, they put it all together. You have no idea what will happen to the
They're
cultures.
Scared to do that.
No, they're scared of what happens to these cultures in the city.
No, they're scared to do that for the simple fact of the matter is this.
The turnout.
But I'll tell you this. It's going to sound funny. It's going to sound petty. It's going to sound very stereotypical, but I'm being dead ass when I say this. White people want to sport for themselves. You invite us to integrate in that goddamn, we gonna take over that goddamn sport too.
They want a sport for themselves. They want music for themselves. They want
y'all wouldn't got your ranch styles the way that y'all have them if it wasn't for us. Y'all wouldn't have your irrigation for your farmlands.
We went for the Indians, actually. the natives. But they didn't know what the hell they were doing. And then after the natives wouldn't do it anymore, they went off. What they do? They started bringing Africans by the boatloads that were being sold by other Africans. Don't say that. And we're owned by other Africans. Don't say that. They don't want us to know history. People are so mad at people because of the color of their skin. They don't realize they should be more mad at the people of their own color. If you want to be a colorized person, stop focusing on one thing. Focus on the whole brand. That wasn't where I was going. Talk about South Carolina because I want to. Now that we got my temperature up, we're going to talk about South Carolina.
We ain't got time, bro.
South Carolina, we love you. You did a damn thing. You did something the first time since UConn. This Caitlin Clark thing is, I ain't against her. I'm gonna say that right now. I'm not against her.
So let me ask you this: who goes number one?
Who's number one?
We know who's gonna go number one. The better question is, who do you think should go number one? Angel Reese or her?
I would take her all day because
of course
she's gonna put butts in the
seats.
Of course.
And she could shoot the goddamn ball.
But that's right now. That's right now.
That's right now.
When you get to the, you remember
You're
Jimmer
absolutely
Fredette?
right.
Remember Jimmer Fredette?
Yeah.
Okay. Did I say more? He can shoot the ball too from anywhere all over the court. They call him the next. What is it? Jordan drafted him thinking, oh, he's going to be good. What happened to him? He's over in China averaging 50 points a game, but he can't do it in the NBA. Do I think he's got to be Caitlin Clark? No, but here's the thing. What y'all got to realize. The GOAT of basketball, Diana Taurasi. What does she say? And everybody lit her up for it. You know what? That's fine. But when you get here, it's a different game. You're going to step. You're going to step up.
But now that she has not won the NCAA championship, is she the GOAT of college basketball?
No, that's already been stated. She's not a GOAT because she didn't win a championship.
I'll give you that.
She's not a GOAT. She's in.
Now here's the thing. I was telling my wife the other day when actually championship on Sunday. I was telling my wife,
if she win it, great.
I'm happy for you.
She's in the conversation.
I would say she needed to win the NCAA championship in order to be in the talks of college female GOATs.
Exactly. That's what I just said.
You understand what I'm saying?
Here's what
would she be considered one? Was she going to the College Hall of Fame? Now?
Yeah, she could go right now.
I don't know. She needed that championship to solidify.
Oh, she broke every record,
but
that'll
without
get her
that championship,
that will get her in alone.
Okay.
Because the thing is, because of her,
I disagree with that. I think she needed that championship. I think she.
So you don't think she's going? You think she's going to the women's championship, the women's Hall of Fame? No. College basketball Hall of Fame. You don't think she's going in?
No.
Okay. Well, you're on the very few of that list. She's going in the Hall of Fame. She's not on the Mount Rushmore of women. It starts with, oh my gosh, I can't think of her name now. Cheryl
Swoops?
No. Yeah. Well, no, is there last name? I'm thinking about Cheryl Miller.
Oh.
Wow, you said Cheryl Swoops in college-wise, not really. Cheryl Miller. She goes in that if she wins a championship, she gets somewhere in the Mount Rushmore, the smallest part of the Mount Rushmore you can put her in. But she ain't up there, man. She's not. I'm sorry. No titles.
I don't put her up there either.
And here's another thing. People talked about Angel Reese's attitude.
I'll put Angel Reese's defensive play above Caitlin's offensive play. That's just my personal opinion.
I see where you're going with that, but
that's just my personal.
But
opinion.
Who beat who this year?
Who beat who last year?
They're
1-1 right now. So that to me,
no, they're not 1-1 because wasn't won the championship last year?
LSU won it last year.
The thing is, Iowa made it back to back. That gives her a lot more status, but that's just like saying,
but you lost.
Let me finish.
But you lost when it mattered.
Let me finish. That's just saying LeBron's better than Jordan.
I disagree with that. Until next week, folks. Thank you for tuning in.
No, it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. Who has more wins in the finals out of the two of them? Who has more losses in the finals out of the two of them?
If you want to say who's the biggest GOAT between LeBron, and we've had this conversation, Jordan.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. If you want to compare Caitlin Clark to being on the Mount Rushmore of women's players, what title does
I
she have?
don't. She needed that title.
Okay, so here's where I put her at. She's the John Stockton of college basketball.
And on that note, till next
The
week.
greatest never did it.